With over 600,000 whitetails roaming the vast and bountiful Kansas plains, it's no wonder why the Sunflower State is rated as a top trophy destination. On this hunt, Bob's accepted an old friend's invitation to hunt this heavenly hotspot during the regular Kansas rifle season in the second week of December.
Well, I met Rod at the NRA sports show in Harrisburg, and he says, hey, I want you to come down and archery hunt with me and my dad, and it'd be just you and me and my dad in camp. The bad thing is Joe wasn't here to be in camp, so the good news is I got invited back for next year to go on an archery hunt with Joe, which is the reason why I got invited down.
I met Bob 15, 20 years ago at a hunting show, and he's down to earth kind of guy, and to me he's one of the true legends in the hunting industry.
Rod Kelly's Kansas Big Buck Outfitters boasts 10,000 prime acres of whitetail country in the southeast corner of the state.
Here in southeast Kansas, we got a little over 10,000 acres of land, and it's huntable land. We trophy manage it for big whitetails, been doing it for about 11 years now. We cater to the hunters, we feed them, lodge them, pick them up at the airport. But I can tell you this, we country people, we down to earth, and we're gonna have fun when you're here.
This is whitetail country right here. I like this. Almost any place you look, and there were deer. It's hot, they're bedded close to the food source, they're not using a lot of energy to come back and forth. Well, to me, this is, even though it's the end of the season, it's the same thing. They're gonna be bedded close to the food source.
We got 64 degrees gonna be 2 days this week, and as a hunter, that kills you in movement, deer movement.
Well, when I say it's gonna get milder, I mean, obviously I threw all my heavy stuff in, I expect it to be, 20 degrees, even 0 maybe. Not 50 and 60 degrees.
With the heat like it is and the conditions, and you have to weigh all of that in. It's going to be challenging because it's going to be warm, but breaking daylight late in the evening is going to be the deal here. I tell people, welcome to Kansas, that's hunting.
Of course, Bob never starts a hunt without test firing his rifle.
We had to take the first morning off because, air travel and everything got in there late and wanted to make sure the gun was on, so we took the first morning off, making sure the rifle and everything was on. I got this new Winchester rifle XPR and the new deer season XP, and it's made just for you, the deer hunter. And I tell you what, I've been giving it a workout. I just came from Texas down there. We got to culling some deer. And I'm telling you what, it's made for white-tailed deer. It's made to expand quick, go in there and do its job. And man, we tore them up down there in Texas. We hope to do the same thing here in Kansas.
Winchester's new Deer Season XP is the first bullet to offer increased impact diameter technology. And the all-new Extreme Point redefines what's possible for a deer load, as its massive impact diameter delivers harder hits than ever before.
I can guarantee you, already it will do what it's supposed to do, and that's knock them down. Say she's done.
Host Bob Foulkrod's hunting in southeastern Kansas, where the terrain is not your typical wide-open plains.
The difference in between where we located at in southeast Kansas than most part of Kansas is here we got trees. We do have some trees. It is still open, and we got a lot of fields, but we do have more timber than most parts of Kansas.
With temperatures peaking at 64 degrees, Bob's buckling down for a mid-December hunt with less deer movement than usual.
It was kind of cool, but not what I really thought. I'd brought all my heavy stuff thinking it was going to be cold here in Kansas.
With his rifle dialed in, Bob heads out to see how this winter heat wave is impacting deer movement.
This week, we're going to have Bob on this 1,000-acre tract, and odds is against us this week because it's going to be warm.
With the weather working against him, Bob has to get creative to make this hunt a success.
Every time I stop, and no matter what I'm hunting, I've got 5 or 6 days to get the job done. Can I get it no matter what the weather does? Is it warm? Is it cold? Is it got full moon? Is the wind blowing? My strategy, when the hunting gets tough, I hunt harder.
Late in the day, Bob makes his way to a box blind for his first sit of this Kansas hunt.
Unbelievable wild. Got a cornfield to my left, and I got a soybean field over here. They all been cut, but there's still stuff in it. We're in Kansas hunting whitetail. That's always exciting. Oh, god dang, right there's some turkeys. We wasn't there very long at all, and 3 big gobblers came strutting up through, and big turkeys. God sakes, as warm as it is, you think you're hunting turkeys. Just shortly after that, some deer came out of the woods, and I said, well, that's kind of encouraging. The deer was coming every different direction. They was in back of us, they was coming from off to the side, out in front, you know, just almost any place you looked. By the end of the evening, there were deer there. Pretty exciting. There's a buck right there. Oh goodness, that's a good sign. Deer coming on the edge of the woods down there. I don't know how I'm gonna get in here in the morning. Not without bumping everything off. I had made up my mind that there's no way that I can get into this stand without bumping all the deer off. So our strategy for the next day was not necessarily take the morning off, but not get in the stand, just sit back with the field glasses and really see where these deer were bedded up to, and then, you know, make our plan for that evening. Must have seen, I don't know, 10, 11, 12 does. A couple buck. Not bad for the first evening.
While Bob's a veteran of many Kansas hunts, the southeastern section of the state presents some unique challenges.
The last place I hunted in Kansas was actually on the opposite end of the state, in CRP fields. You know, not the habitat that this has got. This is perfect. I mean, you got great big crop fields, and you got a lot of habitat for them to go in and hide and bed down, and they only have to walk in there just a little ways, and they disappear. Scrape right there. Hasn't used it lately, but what I seen last night, them bucks going there and bumping them does and stuff like that. Black hawks onto him and everything. The second rut is starting up. We could hit it just right. We're gonna need some luck with this mild weather we got, that's for sure.
Even with the heat making things tough, strategically placed food sources should get the deer into the open.
What helps us, we plant food plots in a lot of locations, and I give them something what they don't normally have here, and that what helps us out. We trophy manage it for big whitetails. Been doing it for about 11 years now. The average deer we looking at here is about a 140, 145 class, but the minimum is a 130 class. They have to be at least a 130 before you can take them.
Quiet this morning. Holy jeez. And it's just as I thought, man. I mean, just like the night before, there were deer coming from everywhere, where they were going everywhere to bed up. There's some deer right there. There's a pretty good buck right there. The good news is we've seen a couple bucks, and one of them, you know, got my interest. I couldn't wait to get in the stand that evening time just to see, hopefully I would get a better look at him. I normally find just like that buck right there. There's no reason that he should realistically at this time of year go back. We stand a real good chance of seeing him tonight. I'd like to get a better look at him because he looked like a shooter to me. We're spending a lot of time glassing, we're watching deer, and it was probably a good thing that we didn't go in there and hunt that morning, because we would have pushed them off for sure. See, I don't think I could have got in that blind without blowing him out of there this morning. That was a good choice we made right there. We certainly can't do anything until this evening. So we'll go back to camp. Been a good morning. We've seen a lot of deer this morning. The good news is what I'm banking on is that deer is going to be bedded pretty close to there. We need to take our time and get in there, and hopefully he'll come out this evening.
It's rifle season in Kansas, and host Bob Foulkrod's hoping he and his new Winchester XPR rifle get a crack at a big Jayhawk buck.
Well, last night we got in that box blind is where Rod put us. And there were deer everywhere. They were coming out of this little set. I mean, and this buckbrush everywhere. And so I didn't think I could get down here without bumping the deer.
Now Bob's got his eyes peeled for another peek at that buck.
There's a pretty good buck right there. But I saw a real good buck. I thought it was a good buck anyway. So we just sat there until basically everything went and bedded up, and now it's the evening hunt, and hopefully with any chances we get a good chance to see what that boy was this morning.
Hot weather means deer don't wander far from food and water. So Bob's betting that bruiser buck will stick to the plan and be nearby.
We've seen quite a few good deer in here on this river bottom, and we hunting bean field and corn stubble fields.
With dusk coming on fast, Bob moves into position, ready for anything.
We were probably halfway, 3/4 of the way in there, going through some buckbrush. Every place you look down through here, all these buckbrush stuff and these thorns on them got rubs on it. I know it's not fresh, but that lets you know there's a lot of deer in this area. Anytime you see a rub, it gets you excited because you know there's buck there. I don't care which way and direction you looked at, you've seen, deer sign. There's another one right here. I want to get into that brush right there so I can go straight into the blind. It's got a lot of thorns and it's black, and I would stop, every once in a while and throw the binoculars up, and I threw it up the one time and the does were out. God dang it, the does are out. We seen it that morning. They were going to bed up in every direction. This is my last cover right here. And it's a delicate time of year. They've been hunted with muzzleloader, they've been hunted with archery, and now it's the second season of rifle. Everything you do is into that predator stage. I call it sniper stage. You get in quiet, you get out twice as quiet, you don't make any noise, you don't make any sudden moves, you try to keep yourself hid. You know what it's all about. It's called deer hunting. There's a good buck right there. God dang it.
Though Bob was hoping to catch the same buck he saw this morning, an even bigger one has presented himself this evening.
I'd never make that tower blind. I can get to that planter though. He's too far to shoot from here. Now it was just a matter of, can we get to that planter without those deer seeing us? That's the strategy right at this particular moment. 63 yards to the planter. Be about a 125-yard shot at it. If he stays back and under there, I should be able to cut half the distance off without them seeing me. The good news is we've seen them doe on the way in before they seen us. I have to get down. We had a piece of farm machinery there. I think it was a John Deere planter of some sort. So I got down on my hands and knees and started low crawling. And as soon as I got down in that grass and started low crawling, it brought my mind back to that beautiful bear that we got in British Columbia. It was in the same way. I'm down, going, and that bear was the same way. I'm just smiling because I know I'm going to get up on this bear. My God. I'm just so excited I can't stand it. So, and I had to get myself back again, and flash back, hey, I am stalking a deer, not that bear. And I always said, patience, grasshopper. Oh, does are out in the middle of the field. He's still under that tree stand, feeding. I think we got him.
With the true bruiser in sight, Bob inches into range, hoping to get a crack at this high-racked Kansas shooter.
About 20 more yards. I got that old planter. The good news is there was an old John Deere corn planter or planter there, and so I got down and basically used that as to hide myself. Oh, gotta be careful. I don't want them does to see me. I would raise up every once in a while and reposition myself and make sure I was kept that planter between me and the deer. Perfecto. And the one time I raised up, I caught him just coming out. In fact, he was coming out right from under that old ladder stand I had set up. 150 yards. we got up, I leaned up against the tire, got my tripod with my shooting rest and everything up there. Once I got that rifle up there, threw the binoculars on it, it was just about the time he decided he was coming to the field.
Got a wire right there. We gotta make sure he gets it across that wire. There we go. Just give me the shot.
And I'm smiling because he's mine. He doesn't even know it. The does don't know we're there. The buck don't know we're there. Now it's just for me to do my job.
Safety off. Just give me the shot, buddy. Give me the shot. Right about there. Oh.
Well, when that gun cracked, I mean, I was confident.
Go down.
I mean, nothing could take this new XP load, you know.
Go down. Oh, he jumped the fence right there. I think he went down right there.
Well, one thing's for sure, we got our deer down.
I think he jumped right over here. Gotta be real quiet, because he could be laying, so.
There was no trouble following him. I did pull my flashlight out and put it down because it started to get a little dusk and it helps me stay focused and see a little better. But I mean, it's basically walking up and I walked right into him. There he was, he died running. Oh God, I walked right into him. All right. The ammo worked out great. I mean, the shot was good. We was pretty excited. We had a deer down.
Oh yeah, look at that. Got a chance to try the new XPR Winchester new rifle out and a new deer season load one more time, and this did its job. I mean, that load right there is meant for you, the deer hunter, and that's just what we did. We come down here to Kansas.
That morning that we came out, it was 50 and it was supposed to go to 70 before the end of the week. What does that tell you? Maybe you better lower your standards down just a little bit, and if a nice buck comes out, are you willing to take it home? And my old rule of thumb, never pass up something the first or second day, you shoot the last day. That buck walked out as soon as I saw him. I go, that buck's going down.
But with the conditions like it is for Kansas, it's a real nice deer. I appreciate Bob and coming out hunting with us. It was real enjoyable having him here.
And I didn't want to put any pressure on coming in there and blowing everything out this morning, but when he walked out there was no question I was going to shoot that deer.
Is this a giant buck that I got? No, but it's a great buck. And that's what helps me remember Joe and Rod and you know, all those things. Every time I look at those horns, it brings back memories.
To me, it's about the memories, people I'm hunting with, and a nice rack like that right there. Yes, sir.
You know, a Kansas deer, that's the good news, and the better news is I get a chance to come back and hunt with Joe next year in archery season.
A nice Kansas buck right there.